Hello students, today I'm going to do another revision paper that is published by the Department of Education, Western Province revision paper. So this is the latest paper that you can do. So please do this paper and check my answers. So this is an important paper for you. So you get two parts here in paper 1. So part A and part B. So this is similar to your O-level paper structure. So this is 2 hours paper. You already know part A you can spend 1 hour and part B you can spend 1 hour. So that means for each question in part A you can spend 2 minutes and 24 seconds maximum and you get 2 marks for each question. And also in part B, you get 5 questions and each question worth 10 marks. And also you can spend 12 minutes in part B questions. And what's the other important thing in this paper? Paper 1, spaces are provided. So you have to answer in the space given. So you can't ask for rough papers. So make sure that you write all the answers in the space provided. And here, what are the other important things? Make sure that you write your index number here before you start the exam paper. And here part A, you have to answer all questions. So here in the first page, you get question numbers 1 to 7. Page 2, you get question number 8 to 13. And page number 3, you get questions 14 to 20. And the last page, you get questions 21 to 25. So first, you do all 25 questions within 1 hour. And then watch my video to check your answers. So let's do part A. Let's take question number 1. Find the selling price of an item with 10% VAT is charged when selling the item worth 30,000 rupees. So this is a straightforward question. So 10% value is the VAT. So they are asking, find the selling price of an item. So what you do? If you buy for 100 rupees, you have to give 110 rupees after the tax. So they are asking if the price is 30,000 rupees, what's the amount we have to pay? So if this is 30,000 rupees, you have to pay 110 over 100 into 30,000 rupees. Now simplify. 2 zeros get cancelled out and you get here 1, 2, 3 zeros and 3 times 1, 3, 3 times 1, 3. So the price after the VAT is 33,000 rupees. So you get 2 marks here, 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the final answer. Let's take question number 2. Solve. So the product is given equal to 0. So we know that if the product is equal to 0, either A can be 0 or B can be 0. So you can apply that here. So the two products are equal to 0. You can say 2x minus 1 equal to 0 or x plus 3 equals to 0. Then how you solve it? You can take x term here and take 1 to the other side, minus 1 when you take it to the other side, that becomes 1. Then x becomes 1 over 2. What about this one? Take plus 3 to the other side, you get minus 3. So 2 solutions for this equation, you get 1 mark each. Question number 3. According to the information given on the figure, find the value of x. So here, this is an isosceles triangle. So that means if this is x, this is also x value. Now, what can you say about the exterior angle? Exterior angle is the sum of opposite interior angles. So 150 you can equate to x plus x. So that becomes 2x. So what about x value? You can divide both sides by 2. So 2 and 2 get cancelled out. You get x equals 150 divided by 2, 75. So this is an angle. You have to put degree sign. So x becomes 75 degrees. So you get 2 marks again. 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the answer. Question number 4. Simplify. Look at the denominators. Both are different, so you have to find the lowest common multiple. So what's the lowest common multiple of 3x and 5x? So x term is there, 3 and 5, that becomes 15. So how do you find the lowest common multiple? Take the highest number and see whether it's divisible. It's not divisible by 3, so you take the multiple. 10 also not divisible, then you take 15. So 15 is divisible by 3 and 5, so the lowest common multiple is 15 there. Convert. So 3x becomes 15x multiplied by 5. So you do the same thing in the numerator. 5 times 1, 5. Then 5x becomes 15x multiplied by 3. 3 times 1, 3. So 5 plus 3 becomes 8. 8 over 15x. So 2 marks, 1 mark for this answer and 1 mark for the method. Question number 5. It's a Venn diagram. According to the information given on Venn diagram, list elements belongs to A dash intersection B dash. So first we need to identify what are A dash and B dash. What's A dash? A dash means not belongs to A. So when you close the circle A, what are the elements outside A? 3, 5, 6, 7. Then B dash. What are the elements outside B? So you can close the circle B. What are the elements outside B? 4, 6 and 7. Then what you do? This sign intersection of A dash and B dash. So what are the common terms here? Here 6 is common and 7 is common. So you can write what's A dash intersection B dash is only the common terms, that's 6 and 7. So 2 marks for that. Question number 6. Find the least common multiple of the algebraic expressions 3ab and 6a squared. So how you find out the lowest common multiple? So here you can write 3 and a and b. Those are the factors of 3ab. What are the factors of 6a squared? 6 is 2 times 3 and a squared. So when you are finding lowest common multiple, you are taking the distinct powers, distinct factors with maximum power. So when you take 2, that's power 1. 3 also power 1. A, you can take a squared, that's the maximum power. And you have to take b. So what's the final answer? 6a squared b. Or What's the other method? You can take straight away and find out the factors. So first you can divide by 3. You can divide by 2. You can divide by A. You can divide by A again and B again. Then the lowest common multiple becomes multiplication of these factors. 3 times 2, 6, A squared B. So which one is easier? This one is easier. If you are comfortable in this way, you can do that way. So anyway, you get 2 marks. Question number 7. Find the perimeter of the composite figure according to the given measurements. So that means you have to find out this arc length. So the diameter becomes this 14 centimeters. So how you find out the arc length? Arc length becomes, this is a semicircle, half 2 pi r or pi d. Because diameter we know, we'll use pi d. 22 over 7 into 14. 7 and this is 2. This 2 get cancelled out and you get 22 centimeters. Now we can find out the perimeter. Perimeter becomes outer length. So 114 and 20 and this 20. 20 times 2 and the arc length becomes 22. So when you add it, 14 plus 40 plus 22, 6, 7. So 4 plus 2, 6, 4, 6, 7. 76 centimeter is the perimeter of this figure. 1 mark and 1 mark here. Question number 8. In a hostel, there is enough dry rations for 20 students for 7 days. So here students, that's for 20 students for number of days, that's 7. And 8 more students joined on the same day. So 20 plus 8, 28 students now. Find the number of days for which the food will be sufficient for all the students. Now, if there were 20, so what is student days? You can find out how many student days are there. 20 times 7. So that's sufficient for 20 times 7 student days. So same amount here, but now number of students are 28. Then what about how many days? So same number of student days, you can divide by 28 and find number of days. 7 times 1, 7 times 4. 20 divided by 4, it's 5 days. So they can survive for 5 days with these dry rations. So 2 marks there, method mark and the accuracy mark. Question number 9. Center is O in the circle given. Find the value of x. Look at carefully. This is the diameter then. O is the center. So this angle is 90 degrees. Semicircle angles are 90 degrees. And also, now look at BC arc. This angle and this angle, both are equal because same segment angles are equal. So that becomes 25. Now look at ABC triangle. In ABC triangle, we can say 90 plus x plus 25 is 180 degrees. That's the sum of angles in a triangle. So x plus Here 5 and 11. 180. So what's x? 180 minus 115. You get 65 degrees. So 2 marks for that. Question number 10. Find the gradient of the straight line which passes through the points 2, 3 and 4, 6. So how you find out the gradient of a line? If you know any 2 points on the line, we'll say x1, y1 and x2, y2, both are the 2 points, then you can find using gradient formula the difference between y coordinates over difference between x coordinates, or you can take other way around. You can take y first. So you can use that formula to find out the gradient of the line. So we'll apply now. One point is 2, 3 and the other point is 4, 6. So first take the difference between y coordinates. So gradient becomes here difference between y coordinates. I can take this one first, 6 minus 3. Then what about the difference between x coordinates? You have to take the same point first, 4 minus 2. So that becomes 6 minus 3 is 3, 4 minus 2, that's 2. So 3 over 2 or 1.5, or you can write 1.5 as decimal. So you can keep answer in fractions, mixed number or decimal. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 11. According to the information given in the figure, find the value of x. So how can we find out? It's given these 2 lengths are equal. And these 2 lengths are also equal. What can you say? This is like you can apply midpoint theorem. And what about this one? Here, this angle and this angle. What are those? The 2 lines are parallel. So that means corresponding angles are equal. So you can write this angle is same as 40 plus x. Now you can apply the sum of angles in a triangle, add up to 180. So we can take CDE triangle and apply 50 plus 60 plus 40 plus x is equal to 180 degrees. Then how you find out x? First add these 3, you get 6 and 4, 10, 15. So 150 plus x is 180. So x becomes 180 minus 150. So you get 30 degrees. So they are asking the value of x. So 2 marks, method mark and accuracy mark. Question number 12. What is the probability of getting odd numbers both times when 2 regular tetrahedron dies labeled 1 to 4 are flipped at once? So regular means all sides are equal. So the chance of getting either 1 or 2 or any number, all are equal. So we'll use the diagram to find out the probability. Sample space diagram. So we'll take one side as the first flip. So when you flip once, what are the possibilities you can get? This is a tetrahedron die. So 4 sides, 1 to 4. 1, 2, 2, 3 and 4. Those are the possibilities. What about the second flip? So when you take the second flip, you get again 1, 2, 3, 4. What are the possibilities? You can get, this is 1 and 1. So you get both odd numbers. This possibility is 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4. So you get how many possibilities? Altogether 4 times 4, 16 possibilities. So altogether 16. Now we need to find out the probability of getting odd numbers both times. So we'll select what are the possibilities. 1 and 1 both are odd numbers. 1 and 2 you can't take because 2 is an even number. So 1 and 3. What about 2 here? You can't take the whole column because 2 is there. If you take 3, 3 and 1 both are odd numbers. And 3 and 3 also possible. What about 4? The whole column you can't take it because 4 is an even number. So 4 possibilities are there out of 16 possibilities. So what's the probability of getting both odd numbers? So you get 4 possibilities over altogether 16 because NS, number of possibilities altogether, that's 4 times 4, 16. So simplify, you get 4 times 1 and 4. So 1/4. So you get 2 marks there. 1 mark here and 1 mark for identifying the correct values. Question number 13. According to the information given in the figure, find the value of DCE. Where's DCE? DCE. This angle we need to find out. And it's given these two lines are parallel and this way also parallel. And this is 110. Now what can you say about this angle? 180 minus 110 because this is a straight line. So you can mark this is 70. What else we can mark? If this is 70, this is also 70 because corresponding angles are equal when the two lines are parallel. What else we can mark? We can find out. Now can you see this angle is the same as this angle. This whole thing is 110. What's the theory? Exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is equal to the opposite interior angle. So this is 110. And what you know about the opposite angles in a parallelogram? Opposite angles are equal. If this is 70, this angle also 70. Now we can easily find out the required angle. So what's the required angle? This one. So 110 minus 70. So we can straight away write down DCE is equal to 110 minus 70. So you get 40 degrees. So these are all short questions. So you don't need to write down all the steps. If you can mark all the angles in the diagram given, that's more than enough because they are looking at the answer and how you got it. From this diagram, we can clearly see all the values. So that's enough. You get full 2 marks. Question number 14, matrix question. If A is this and B is this, find AB. What's the size of this matrix? This is 2 by 2 matrix. 2 rows and 2 columns. What about B? 2 rows and 1 column. 2 by 1. Can you multiply? Yes, we can, because the number of columns in the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. Then you can multiply. So A, B multiplication you can do. So we'll multiply now. 1, 3. What's the resulting matrix? You get 2 and 1. So 2 and 1 means you get 2 rows and 1 column. So just 2 values. How you find out those 2 values? So when you want the first value, that's first row, first column. So you take this row and this column. 2 times 1, 2. 0 times 3, 3. So 2 plus 0, that's 2. What about this value? This means second row, first column. Second row and first column. Minus 1 with 1, minus 1. Plus 1 with 3, 3. So minus 1 plus 3, you get 2. So you get 2 and 2 for these 2 elements. So this is the multiplication. So you get 1 mark for the method and 1 mark for the final answer. Question number 15. If 8.75 is equal to 10 to the power 0.942, find the value of LG. So we'll first find, without finding 875, we'll find LG of 8.75. So what is LG? So that becomes 0.942. But they're asking LG 875. So when you are writing in standard notation, so what happens here? This is the standard notation form. This is 2 places moved to the right. So that becomes same decimal values you are getting when you refer the log tables, because 87.5 we are referring. But the decimal here, this is 2 places moved. So you can write 2.942. So you get 2 marks, 1 mark for this step and 1 mark for the final answer. Question number 16. Following figure shows a semicircular sheet with radius 2r and center O. Joining OA and OB, a cone is created with vertex O. Find the curved surface area of the cone. So what they are trying to do, this length and this length, when you paste it, you get, this is the vertex point, you get a cone. So you get a cone like this, and this point, vertex point, becomes O. So that means, so here this part becomes the curved surface area. So basically you don't need to convert to cone and find radius of the cone. Straight away, if you want the curved surface area, you can use the area of the semicircle, because you are taking this one and creating the cone. So this to this. So same area you get if you take this one, this area becomes the curved surface area. So straight away you can use area of the semicircle. So curved surface area becomes half, that's a semicircle, pi r squared. So you can write pi r squared. Here r is 2r squared. So when you simplify, what you get? Half pi, 2r into 2r, that's 4r squared. So 2 and this 4 get cancelled out, you get 2. So answer is 2 pi r squared. Or you can substitute the pi value as 22 over 7. So 22 over 7 r squared. So you can either keep the answer this way or in terms of pi. So both ways you get 2 marks. So 2 marks for the whole thing. Question number 17. Find factors. Look at carefully. Can you factorize the first two? No common terms. Then what you do? You get 4 terms. So you can rearrange so that you get factors. So what are the terms we can take? X squared is there, so definitely this should be in terms of x. So we can switch this and this. We'll switch and see. X squared minus bx we'll write second, and then plus 2x and then minus 2ab. Now we can take factors. When you take first two, x is common. Take it out. X minus b is remaining. What about these two? 2a is common. Take it out. Then x minus b is common. Now two factors here. X minus b is common. Take it out. And then the remaining part, x plus 2a, you can write in the other bracket. So the factors are x minus b and x plus 2a. So you get 2 marks for that. Question number 18. Midpoints of sides AB, BC, CD and DA are PQR is already given. So that means all these lengths are equal. Here we can say same length. Here because it's not given parallelogram. It's given of a rhombus ABCD. So that means all sides are equal. So you can take all sides are equal because rhombus, all sides are equal. So midpoints of sides AB, BC, CD, DA are PQRS respectively of a rhombus ABCD with side length 8 centimeters. So the whole length is 8. So what about this half? 4 centimeter each. 8 divided by 2. If length of the diagonal BD, this length. So I'll draw it. Length of the diagonal BD is 10 centimeters. So this one is given 10 centimeters. Find the perimeter of PBQRDS. So that means perimeter of the shaded part. So how we can find out? These two lengths are equal, so P is the midpoint. Here also midpoint. What can you use? We can use midpoint theorem. So connecting midpoints, so that means these two lines are parallel. So I can write this line is parallel to this one. So that means what's the length of SP? That's half of 10. So if the diagonal is BD is 10 centimeters, what about the SP length? SP length becomes half of that. So 10 divided by 2, 5 centimeters. So you can apply the same thing for the other side. When you take CDB triangle, these two lines are parallel, and if this is 10, this becomes, so RQ also becomes same length. That's 5 centimeters. Now easily we can find out the perimeter. So what's the perimeter? Outer length. So this is 5, 5. 5 twice. So we can write 5 twice. Five times 2. And then what about these lengths? This is 4. 1, 2. This is also 4. 2, 3, 4. 4 times. So plus 4 times is the perimeter. So you can find out 5 times 2, 10. 4 times 4, 16. 16 plus 10, 26 centimeters, because this is a length. So perimeter of this shaded part is 26 centimeters. So 2 marks. Question number 19. According to the information given in the figure, find the value of x plus y. How can we find out? Now look at carefully. If this is x, what is this angle? This is a straight angle. 180 minus x is this. Now you can apply these two angles with this one. So this is the exterior angle. So exterior angle is equal to the sum of opposite interior angles. So 60 plus 180 minus x. Then you can take minus x to this side. X plus y becomes 60 plus 180. So you get 0, 8 plus 6, 14 and 1 remaining. So 2. So 240 degrees. So that's x plus y. 2 marks for that. Question number 20. First term is 1/8 and common ratio is 2 of a geometric progression. Find the 9th term. So it's given first term. A is 1/8. Common ratio R equals 2. So how you find out the nth term of a geometric sequence or progression? Tn equals AR to the power n minus 1. Now we need 9th term. N is 9. So AR to the power 9 minus 1 becomes 8. Now substitute the values. A is 1/8. R equals 2. 2 to the power 8. So you can simplify here. 8 is also 8. 2 to the power 3. Same base, different powers, you can subtract the powers. So 8 minus 3 becomes 2 to the power 5. So what's 2 to the power 5? 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8 times 2, 16. 16 times 2, 32. So the answer is 32. So 2 marks there. Question number 21. O is the center of the given circle. According to the information given, find the value of ADO. This angle. So this is given. These lengths are equal. What do you know about when you draw a line to the midpoint of the chord? This line is perpendicular. So because of this is the midpoint, we can say this is 90 degrees. If this is 90, what can you say about this angle? This angle is 90 minus 20. That's 70 degrees. Now look at AC arc. When you take this angle, this is the angle subtended at the center. That's 70. What about this angle? This is the angle subtended on the circumference. So what is the relationship? This angle is half of this one. So ADO, the required angle is half of AOC angle. That's half of 70 degrees. So that's 35. So this becomes 35 degrees. So 2 marks. Question number 22. Following figure shows a cumulative frequency curve drawn for marks obtained for a practical test. Find the interquartile range of the marks. So first thing you need to know, what is interquartile range? The difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. So we'll find out third one and second one using the cumulative frequency curve. Look at carefully, what's the total? Total is 32. N is 32 here. So how will you find out the first quartile? We take 32, divide by 2 here. We are always getting estimated value, so you don't need to add 1 here. 32 plus 1 divided by 4, you don't need to do that for cumulative frequency curve. So straight away n by 4. So we can take 32 divided by 4 is the 8th one. So we need to find out where the 8th one is. So when you draw a line along 8, so 5, 6, 7, 8, we can find out the first quartile. What's the value here? 1 square represent 1 because 10 squares, 10. So how many squares here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 14 is the answer there. So 14 is Q1. So now take third quartile. How you find out third quartile? You take the n value, divide by 4 and multiply by 3. Because third quartile means 3/4 of the whole thing. So 4 times 8, 8 times 3, 24th one we have to refer. From the diagram, where's 24th one? So here. So when you draw the line, you get this value. So what's the value there? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 34. So this is Q1, this is Q3, 34. So Q3 equals 34. So what is the interquartile range? Interquartile range is 34 minus 14. So you get 20. So interquartile range value is 20. So you get 2 marks for that. So show all the lines. You get the method mark there. Question number 23. AB is an apartment. A person at the top of the apartment observes a security guard P at a certain distance from the foot of the apartment with an angle of depression of 60 degrees. So that means from here, when you observe from here, so P is the security guard, angle of depression. So what is angle of depression means? We measure the angle horizontally. So you get this angle is 60 degrees. Then it says a person in the below apartment C. This one observes the same guard with an angle of depression 40 degrees. So that means, so when you take from here to here, angle of depression is 40. So That means basically when you draw this one, the horizontal line, this angle is 40 now. If this is 40, this angle also 40. So you can mark this is also 40. If this is 60, the bigger angle is 60. Sketch the information on the diagram given. So you have to show 60-degree angle and 40-degree angle correctly. So you get 1 mark each for these 2 steps. Question number 24. An incomplete sketch is given to find a locus of a point inside the triangle ABC equidistant to AB, AP and BC. Sides and 4 centimeters away from AC. 4 centimeters away from AC line. Draw the rough construction lines required to find the locus of the point and mark it. So here you don't need to use the compass, but I'll show how to do with a compass. So what are the 4 important loci points you need to know? So you need to know equidistance from a point is a circle. Then equidistance from 2 points, that's the perpendicular bisector. Then you need to know the third one is the equidistance from 2 points. That's the angle bisector. And the last one you need to know about loci is equidistance from a line. So that's 2 parallel lines above or below the line. So you need to know these all 4 loci points for your O-level exam. So which one now you need to apply? Angle bisector, because it says equidistance from AB line and BC line. So 2 lines given and equidistance. So that's the angle bisector. So how you draw the angle bisector? You take the B point, take any distance and you can draw 2 arcs on this and then take the compass with a different distance or the same distance. You can draw the 2 arcs and find out the intersecting point. So we get this point. So we draw the line here too. So we draw the line here to here. So that's the angle bisector. So this angle is equal to this angle. Now angle bisector is there. We need to find out the locus point of equidistance to these 2 points as well as 4 centimeters away from AC. So already given the 4 centimeter line. So what's the intersecting point of the angle bisector and 4 centimeters away from that? So this point. So this point becomes the required point. So we'll put P. So P is the point equidistant to AB and BC as well as 4 centimeters away from AC line. So P. So marking P, you get 1 mark. And drawing the angle bisector, you get 1 mark. So altogether 2 marks for that. Question number 25. This is the last question in part A. Following figure shows a distance time graph drawn for a car travels in a highway. Find the average speed of the car. Average speed, you can find out the total distance traveled divided by the total time. So you can either take this average and this speed divide by 2, or you can take the whole thing because here to here this is 3 hours and 120 kilometers. Here to here, continuous traveling. So you can take the total distance over total time for this. So how you find out the average speed? Average speed is equal to total distance traveled. That's important. Total distance traveled over total time of traveling. Total distance traveled is 180 kilometers. And what's the total time taken? That's 5 hours. So what's the value? 5 times 3, 15. For 30, that's 6. 36 kilometers per hour. So we can keep in kilometers and hours. 36 kilometers per hour. So you get 2 marks for that. So we completed all 25 questions in part A. So let's do part B. Now we'll do part B. Part B, you get 5 questions and you have to answer all 5 questions. And also spaces are provided, so you have to answer all in spaces. But here you can't see spaces here, but in your real paper you will get spaces to write down the answers. So let's do part B. So you get 1 and 2 in the first page, 3 and 4 in the second page, and 5th one in the third page. Question number 1. So you get 4 parts. So full thing is 10 marks. So each part you get different marks. So let's do question number 1. There are 150 students who are facing in this upcoming O-level examination in a certain school. 1/5 of students have selected dancing. 3/8 of the remaining students have selected music. What fraction of students have selected other than dancing as a whole? So you can just subtract 1/5 from the whole parts. So what about the remaining part? 1 minus 1 over 5. 1 you can write 5 over 5 minus 1 over 5. So you get 4 over 5 as the answer. So you get 2 marks there. We'll see the marking scheme. Just 1 mark for this answer. So just 1 mark. Let's take the next one. What fraction of students have selected music as a whole? It says from the remaining amount, 3/8 of students doing music. So 4 over 5 is the remaining students. Out of that, 3/8. So that's the fraction of students doing music. So here 4 times 1, 4 times 2, then you get 3 over 5 times 2, 10. 3 over 10 parts. So how many marks for this question? You get, according to the marking scheme, you get 2 marks for this. Take the next one. Part 3. The students who do not select dancing and music have selected art or drama. What fraction of students have selected art or drama as a whole? Now we need to find out the total number of students who selected. Total number who selected dancing and music. Music 3/10 and dancing, that's given earlier, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5 and 3/10. What's the total? 10 is the lowest common multiple. 2 times 1, 2 plus 3. So 5/10. Now simplify, you get half. So half of the students did dancing and music. So what fraction of students have selected art or drama? Other half. Art or drama, just 1 minus half, that means half. So how many marks for that part? You get 2 marks for finding this and 1 mark for subtracting. So 3 marks there. Question number 4. If number of students who have selected art are twice as number of students who have selected dancing. So when it comes to art and dancing, art are twice as the number of students who have selected dancing. So if this is x, 2x is the number of students who are doing art. Find the number of students who have selected drama. Now first we can find out how many students did dancing. So dancing. Altogether how many students were there? 150 students. 1/5 did dancing. 1/5 of the students did dancing. So 1/5 of 150. 30 students chose dancing. Then how many students chose art? So art students, double of that. 30 times 2, that's 60 students who have selected art. And then what about the total of art and drama? That's half of that. Art or drama, half of 150, that's 75 students. So when you take the difference between these two, you get number of students who chose drama. So 75 art or drama, art students 60. So when you subtract, you get number of students who have selected drama. So 15 students have selected drama. So how many marks for this part? That's the last part. So you get 4 marks. So 4 marks to identify this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll see whether all marks you got. 4 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 1 mark 10. So altogether 10 marks for the first question. Let's do question number 2. So you get 4 parts there in question number 2. So first try before you watch the video. And now we'll do question number 2. The figure shows a rectangular shaped park with width 22 meters and a sector shaped pond with radius 14 meters at the corner of the park. So we can mark this is 14, this is 14. is the radius. Find the area of the pond. So this is a rectangular shape, that's 90-degree angle. So this is a quarter of a circle. So how you find out the area? Not half, 1/4 of pi r squared. Pi is 22/7, r is 14. 14 times 14, 7 times 2, 2 times 2 here, again 2 times 11. So 11 times 14, 11 times 4, 44. 4 is there, 11 times 1, 11 plus 4, 15. 154 square meters is the area of the pond. So how many marks for this step? We'll look at the marking scheme. You get 2 marks for this. Question number 2, part 2. If the area of the park without the pond is 3 times of area of the pond, find the length of the park. So we found this is 154. This is 3 times 154. It's given the other part without the pond. Find the length of the park. So we can find out the length is FC or AB. That's equal to, now area of the rectangle is same as the area of these two parts. So what's the area of a rectangle? Length into width. So AB is the length and width is 22. That's equal to area here. So 154 here, this is 1. So altogether 154 times 4. 4 parts are there, 3 and this one. Now you can find out AB length. AB length is 154 times 4 divided by 22. So you can divide by 11, that's 2, 11 times 1 and 4. Now again you can divide 2 with 4, that's 2. 14 times 2, you get 28 meters is the length of this park. So how many marks for that? We'll look at the marking scheme. It says 28. You get just 2 marks for this step. Part 3. Find the perimeter of the park without the pond. Perimeter of the park. So that means you need these lengths. We'll take, so you need this arc length and all the other lengths here. This is the perimeter of the park without the pond. So you need to find out all these lengths. So first thing, we can find out the arc length. Arc length here, what's the arc length? Arc length is equal to 1/4, that's a quarter of a circle, into 2 pi r. 2 pi we can take 22/7. What's the radius there? So it's given 14 here. So 7 times 2. Then 2 times 2 here. This 2 get cancelled out with this 2. You get 22 meters is the arc length of DE. So what's the perimeter that we need? Perimeter is equal to, we need to find out these lengths. Now we found out in the previous one, the length of the park is 28. This is 14. So this is also 14. What about this one? 22 is the whole thing, 14. 22 minus 14, 8 meters. So this part is 8. Now we'll add all the lengths. 8 plus 28 plus 22 plus 14 and then the arc length also 22. So what's the total? 22 and 8, 30. 30 and 28, 58. 58 and 22, 80. And this 14, 94. Again check, 94 meters. 8 and 22, you get 30. 28, that's 58, and this is 58 plus 28, you get 80, and then 14, 94. So that's the answer. And the last part, it says, there is a plan to make a flower bed with one boundary as BC, and the area is half the area of the pond. Find the width of the flower bed and sketch it on the given diagram. So that means basically they want to construct a flower bed with one boundary as BC, like this, and we need to find out the width of the flower bed. So this part. But we know the length is 22. But it's given the area of the flower bed is what? It says half the area of the pond. What's the area of the pond we found before? 154. Can you remember? What's the area? 154. So half of it. 154 divided by 2. 77 is the area. So how you find out the area using the rectangle? That's equal to, the length here is now this one, 22. And you need to find out the width. We'll put X or something. So we can easily find out the width of the flower bed. So X becomes 77 divided by 22. 11 times 2 and 11 times 7. 7 over 2 means 3.5 meters. So the width of the flower bed is 3.5. So you can mark it here. This length is 3.5. So we can show the flower bed in pink color. So this is the flower bed. So the width is 3.5 meters. So how many marks for these two steps? Part 3, you get finding arc length, 2 marks, and finding perimeter, you get just 1 mark. And the last part, you are getting 3 marks for that. Showing the diagram, 1 mark, and calculating the values, you get 2 marks. So 2 marks here. So check whether you got all 10 marks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and these two 10. Altogether 10 marks for that. Let's do question number 3. So you get part A and part B, and several parts are there. So we'll do step by step. Question number 3, part A. The following table shows the expenses for a car when it is imported. Find the percentage custom duty charged when importing the car. So what are the expenses imported? Value is 800,000 rupees. Custom duty, you have to pay 400,000 rupees, and other expenses 300,000 rupees. Now only they are asking percentage custom duty value. So how you find out the percentage custom duty value? So percentage custom duty value is equal to, the custom duty value is 400,000. You have to pay for 800,000 rupees because the imported value is 800,000 rupees, and then you have to multiply by 100 and divide by 100 here. So you can cross out all zeros, 5 zeros and this 5 zeros. So 4 times 1 and 4 times 2. So that means half into 100. So what's the value? 2 times 50. So 50% is the value. So you have to pay 50% custom duty when you are importing a car. What's the next part? What is the expected selling price to be made to get 15% percentage profit? Now, the imported value is this. So we have to first find out the value you are paying for everything. So custom duty and other expenses. And this one all together, what's the price of the car? So first we'll find out that price of the car with all taxes. What's the value? When you add all together, you get 0, 0, 0. 8 plus 4, 12. Plus 3, 15. So this is the value. 1,500,000 rupees. So that's the value that you have to pay. 1,500,000 rupees. Then it says you have to make a profit of 15,000 rupees. So what is the selling price? If you buy for 100 rupees, you have to sell it for 115 to get a profit of 15. So if this is 1,500,000, what is the selling price? Selling price becomes the value here 1,500,000 rupees into 115 over 100. Now here 2 zeros get cancelled out and then shall we multiply at once? 0, 0, 0. 3 zeros are there. 15 times 115. 15 times 115 you have to do. So 15 times 15, 200. If you know 225, you can do at once. But if you can't do it, you just do 10 and 5 and find the answer. 5, 1, 1, 5 times 5, 27. And 5 times 1, 5 plus 2, 7 and 5. So what's the total? 1725. 1725. So that means the selling price should be 1,725,000 rupees if you want 15% profit. So we'll see how many marks for this step. So 50% you get 2 marks for this step and 3 marks. 1,725,000 rupees, you get 3 marks for this step. Now take the next part. A businessman invested 350,000 rupees in a bank which gives 12% compound interest annually for 2 years. What is the total amount saved in the bank after 1 year? So what's the amount? Amount is equal to 350,000 rupees. What's the interest rate? 12% compound interest. That means if it's 100, 112 you have to pay. So 112 over 100. This is just for 1 year. So 2 zeros get cancelled out. And you get 2 zeros and 35 and 112. 112 times 35. 30 and 5. 3 times 2, 6. 3, 3. 5 times 2, 10. 5 times 1, 5 plus 1, 6. 5 times 1, 5. 3920. That's the amount you get when you deposit 350,000 in a bank. You get 392,000 after 1 year. What is the amount he receives after 2 years? Now you have to again multiply by 112 over 100. So what is this amount that he received after 2 years? This is after 1 year. 392,000. Again you have to multiply by 112 over 100. So 2 zeros get cancelled out. 0 is there. 392 multiplied by 112. 100, 10 and 2. So you get 2 times 2, 4 here, 2 times 9, 18 and 2 times 3, 6 plus 1, 7. Now add it. You get 10, 10, 19 and 10, 13 and 4. So the answer is 43904. And this 10. So what's the value? It's 439,040 rupees. That's after 2 years. So we'll give marks now. This is part B. You get just 3 marks for that. So finding the interest and this one, 3 marks. You can do this after finding the interest and then add it to the initial amount. So this method is easy. We find straight away the whole amount. Then the second part, 43940, you get 2 marks. So we'll see how many marks already given. 5 here in part B and 5 marks in part A. Question number 4 now. So you get a histogram. This is a statistics question, so you can try out this question. Question number 4. The following histogram shows marks obtained by students in a term test for a certain subject. How many students obtained marks in between 10 and 30? 10 and 30. So 10 and 30 here. You need to find out how many students. You can't just read the value here because the widths are not equal. So what you do, you can draw a line here and divide equally. Equal widths. Now you can easily find out the value. So 10 to 30 here. This is 12, 13, 14 and 14. So this is 14, 14. So altogether 14 plus 14, 28 students are there. Show the information on the histogram if 9 students obtain marks in between 40 and 70. 40 and 70, how many bars are there? 1, 2, 3. So that means you have to divide 9 by 3. You can't just draw 9 there because equal width should be there. 9 divided by 3, that's 3. So you can draw a line along 9 here, 3 here, that's somewhere here up to 70. So this is the bar. So we can divide this one equally. Each bar consists of 3. 3, 3, 3, altogether 9 students. So that's the second part. Using the information given, draw the frequency polygon on the histogram. So how you draw the frequency polygon? You mark the midpoints of each bar. So midpoints. Here midpoint, this one. So first mark all the midpoints, and then what you do, you have to take the midpoint of the next interval as well and the previous interval. So roughly here, now you can connect all the midpoints. That's called the frequency polygon. Here to here. And then connect this line as well. So this is the frequency polygon. So we'll see how many marks for these 3 steps. So we'll see how many marks you get. You get 1 mark for this part and 2 marks. Finding this one, 1 mark here, and drawing this bar, 1 mark, 2 marks. And part 3, drawing this frequency polygon, you get 3 marks. 3 marks for completing the frequency polygon. Let's take the next part. Following data shows masses of students to the nearest kilogram in a class. Find the interquartile range of the masses. Just check whether these masses in ascending order. So already given in ascending order, so no need to rearrange. So how you find out the first quartile? Now first you have to identify what is interquartile range. The difference between the third and the first quartile. So how we find out the third quartile? First we'll find first one. We take n plus 1 divide by 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 1 divide by 4. So what you get? 10 divided by 4. That means you get 5 over 2. 2.5. So 2.5 means this is in between 2 and 3. Exactly in the middle of second one and the third one. So 1, 2. So second one and third one midpoint we have to take. So how you find out the midpoint? And then divide by 2. So Q1 becomes 31 plus 33 divided by 2. So what's the value? 64 divided by 2, 32. That's first quartile. Now find out third quartile. How you find out the third quartile? So you add 1, n plus 1 over 4, multiply by 3. 9 plus 1, 10, 10 plus 3, 30 over 4. So you get 7 and 28 for 27.5. So what is 7.5 means? In between 7th one and 8th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is in between 39 and 40. So what is Q3? Third quartile. You add 39 and 40 divide by 2. You get 9, 7 divide by 2. 2 times 3, 6, and for 19, that's 9 and 0.5. 39.5. Now find interquartile range. 39.5 minus 32. That's the first quartile. So what's the answer? You get 5 here. 2 and 9, 7. So 7.5. So interquartile range is 7.5. Let's give marks for this part. So in part B, you get 4 marks for the whole question. So here 2 marks. Here finding the values. And here 1 mark for finding this one. And 1 mark for finding the difference. So here this part 4 marks. And we'll see whether we get altogether 10 marks. 4, 3, 7 and 3 marks. 10 marks altogether. Now we'll take the last question in part B, Question number 5. So you get part A, 3 parts. First part, anybody who is getting selected from first round can participate for the second round in a certain game. Probability of losing from the first round is 1/3. So already marked, losing 1/3. Probability of winning the second round after winning the first round is 3/5. Following tree diagram shows the information regarding the first round of the game. Mark appropriate probability on it. So if this is 1/3 losing probability, what's the winning probability? 1 minus 1/3. So what's the value? You get 2/3. So you can fill this value. So that's 2/3. Just you are getting 1 mark there. Now we'll take the second part. Expand the above tree diagram to represent the information regarding the second round of the game and mark correct probabilities. So we found out this is 2/3 from the previous part. Now the second round, you can again. Can you draw this path? Just tell me. It says only if you win the first round, you can participate in the second round. So if you lose at the first time, you can't participate. So make sure that you don't draw this part. So you can't draw it. Only if you win, you can participate for the second round. So this is win, again win or lose. So what's the probability given? It says probability of winning the second round after winning the first round is 3/5. So you can mark 3/5 here. If this is 3/5, what's the losing probability for the second time? 1 minus 3/5. That means 2/5. And what's the third part? What is the probability of a person winning the game both times? So that means winning and winning. So you can multiply. So probability wins both times is equal to 2/3 for the first time winning and 3/5 for the second time winning. So 3 and 3 get cancelled out. You get 2/5. Let's give marks. So in this one, 2 marks here. Showing this path and this path. Correct probabilities, everything. 2 marks there. And then 2/5. For the second one, again 2 marks. This is part A. Let's do part B. Part B, in a group, there are 3 females and 2 males. The captain is selected from the group and then a vice captain is selected from the remaining members of the group. So that means if you become a captain, you can't take the other position as well. Represent the relevant sample space of the event, selecting captain and the vice captain for the team in the given grid by marking X. Girls represent G1, G2, G3. That means girl 1, 2, 3. 3 girls are there. B1, B2 means 2 boys. So this side, it says selecting the captain, and this side is selecting the vice captain. Show the net represent captain as a boy on the sample space diagram and find its probability. Find the probability of selecting a girl for one position. Now first we'll mark the sample space. Now take this one, selecting a captain. So the first girl can be selected as the captain but cannot take this position. So second girl can be the vice captain. Third girl, first boy or the second boy. If the second girl is the captain, so cannot be take the second position, vice captain position. So you have to skip that. So same positions you have to skip. G3, G3 you can't take. All the other possibilities are okay. B1 with B1 not possible. And with B2, second boy, you can't select B2. So altogether how many possibilities? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20 possibilities are there. Then we'll find out this one. Show the net represent captain as a boy on the sample space diagram. Captain only a boy. So we have to look at this side. So B1, B2. So captain is a boy. So you can select all these. So this one. So what's the probability? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 possibilities out of 20. So what's the probability of selecting a boy as the captain? Probability of boy as captain. 8 possibilities out of 20. 4 times 2, 4 times 5. So 2 over 5. Find the probability of selecting a girl for one position. Girl for one position. So what are the possibilities? What are the possibilities? If you select G1, you can't select girls. So this is okay. For these 3, this part is okay. Girls with boys. Then if these 2 are boys, girls can participate. So this one and this one. So that's the outcome. So how many possibilities are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 20. So we'll mark this one as B or something. Then I can write probability of B is equal to 12 over 20. 4 times 3, 4 times 5. 3/5. So we'll give marks for these steps. Part B, you get 1 mark for marking all possibilities. And then 2 marks for finding this probability and 2 marks for this. So 2, 2, 4, 5 here, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this one 10 altogether. So we completed the 5th question. So this is the last question in paper 1 and this is part B. So complete the paper first and then watch my video to check your answers.